Yo,
And we're
yo.
live.
Welcome to the Good Price Show, where the price is always good, supposed to be always good. We have a special guest with us, and he may not be a guest for a while. Mr. Fast Eddie, how you doing?
Hey, what's cracking? Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing?
Doing great, sir.
We're doing
GM,
well.
GM.
GM.
Excited for this one. It's very highly requested. For people who don't know, Fast Eddie is one of the most creative and brilliant minds on the entire Solana blockchain. And we're very, very excited to have him here in the studio today. And we're excited to hear his story, Eddie.
Yeah, man. I'm stoked to be here. I met you guys on a Twitter space. Like what seems like to be 10 years ago now, but that was just about 8 months ago or so, I think.
It doesn't get more crypto native than that. Right there in the Web3 crypto native degen Twitter spaces is where it really goes down.
Yeah, and since then we've, been in different cities and states together and spoken on panels at crypto conferences and hosted a million spaces, gotten a million Twitter battles with random people. Yeah, it's been fun. Fuck, I'm happy to be here.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
you appreciate you coming on. Holy fuck.
Having you.
This is a long time coming. We're rusty at this. We're
I
really,
know.
really rusty.
Yeah, you guys don't pull up on spaces. You guys are like,
Dude.
let's bring it back, baby. It's time.
Dude, a lot has transpired over the last few months. I mean, it's a different landscape now.
It really is. But Solana NFTs are stronger than ever. But before we get into that stuff, I guess, first question is for, people who don't follow you, Eddie, or who don't know your story, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how you, came up and kind of transitioned into crypto?
Yeah, let me take in like 2 deep breaths for this one. You guys are going to hear me talk about a lot of things before it comes back into crypto. So just like get comfortable, I guess, in your chair, or if you're leaning forward, stop having that shitty posture all the NFT traders have. And I'll tell you about myself a bit, I guess. So I'm from Philadelphia, a little suburb outside of Philadelphia. It's called Springfield. There's like 24,000 people population. Pretty small place. I went to Catholic grade school and all that. That was shitty. I left Catholic grade school in the middle of 8th grade because my hair, I have long curly hair. My hair was like starting to hit the collar of my shirt. And like this lady told me to cut my hair, and I was just like so confused. I'm like, I just didn't understand how like she had any say in what my hair looked like. So I just, I left. I walked out of Catholic school, probably skateboarded right over to the public school and tried to like just sign up for school. Like I could just go over there and do that. Everyone was pissed. My mom came from work, and anyway, the kids at Catholic school kind of sucked. So I went right over to public school, and I loved it. And I was skating. I just skateboarded. I just loved it. It was fun. And like, I don't know, the kids that I hung out with were a little bit older, the skaters, but it was really cool. And as those dudes started to get better, like, and I went into high school, like, I started videotaping all the skaters, because like you want to make skate videos and get sponsored and like become the next Tony Hawk, right? Like that's how you do it. You make a skate video, you send it into your local skate shop, and they sponsor you. So like I was afraid of getting hurt. These guys were getting busted the fuck up. Like as soon as they started doing handrails and jumping down steps and doing shit like that, like they were getting banged up. So I didn't want to get banged up, but I wanted to be around these guys because they were cool. They were nice people. So I filmed them all, and I got really fucking good at it. Like I used my buddy's video camera, my neighbor Eric, his dad's video camera that he got from like a yard sale. One of those ones that like you put the VHS tapes in, like the big fucking full VCR size tapes, and you put it on your shoulder. And we went and filmed skateboard tricks, and I edited them myself within like using a VCR, like 2 VCRs. You would stack the 2 VCRs and record from one to the other, so you would just like get the landed tricks, You put them all lined up, and then you'd record the TV screen with your camera and turn up the music, fade it up with speakers in the bedroom, and then you got yourself a little edited video with music. You know what I'm saying? This is like before all this Adobe stuff and like all these softwares on my cell phone, before Sidekicks and before Nextel. Like So like I would make these videos, and then it's like, oh, what the fuck are you gonna do with these? So you give them to the skate shop, you hopefully get sponsored, and then what I did was I went to Best Buy. They just came out, I think. Best Buy knocked Circuit City out, and I got this thing that was called like a Dazzle video converter. So I like plugged this like big wonky, like the size of a current modem, plugged it in. I plugged it into my dad's like finance laptop. My dad's an accountant at the Tasty Cake. It was a little baking company for my Northeast friends, but I plugged this thing in, and I would then found a way to get my video onto the computer. And these are very small. It couldn't take more than 5-10 megabytes max. And that was crazy if it could even do that. So I took these videos, and I bought my own hosting, and I went on these forums. These were just websites where people would meet and talk about things, like using dial-up internet. And I would talk to the other skate filmers in California, in these places where like I'd never been to, like all the skateboarders from around the world, like that were smart enough to be on the internet. I guess this is like 2004, around then, maybe 2000. Yeah, 2004. And I went on this community, and I met all these other guys, and I started showing them my videos. I figured out how to upload them. Like this is like years before YouTube, you know. We'd show each other our videos, and then like our names would get out there, and then like when the crews would come to different cities with the real skate companies, you'd go meet them. And eventually, I started filming Bam Margera at the skate park, the dude from Jackass. And that's when like shit got awesome. Like I had never left Philadelphia before. And after I met Bam, I started filming him. He just liked my style. He liked my camera. I was pretty good at skating, still am. And, you know, I went and traveled with him and started making these little videos. I could just travel around with one backpack, one laptop, 2 lenses, a photo camera, and bang out videos. Because I had been doing this since before the internet. So now you can upload that shit to Vimeo and whatever it was at the time. He's like, fuck, this dude's great. He's like, he's quick. And, he's used to doing movie stuff now, you know, because MTV. So he invited me to go with Jackass 3, and I went and fucking filmed all that shit, traveled around the world, left Philadelphia for a little bit. And I'm like, you know, this is like directly after high school, like 18. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like it was freaking awesome. I got to go to like Australia, and like I got to learn about all the different cool shit in Australia. And like there, yeah, you know, people in Australia are fucking purifying ocean water to make it drinkable. Like that's crazy. Those people are dope over there. That's in Melbourne. It's really expensive, but I learned a lot of stuff over there. I got to see the world, and I got to learn about other cultures, and that was one of the most important things in my life, was traveling. And I don't know, just like learning that like the world's bigger than like your coffee table and like your small problems, and like you go and see other people in other communities and how they live and how they eat and how they say hello and their manners and blah blah blah. And it was just like so like crazy to see. I never left Philadelphia, bro. Like you just go, like, you know what I mean? You hang out with your friends, you play hide and seek out front, you freaking run around the neighborhood and
yeah,
do skateboarding and like go to school and then do your homework and then one day go to college and then like make a local business nearby and your kids will go to the same school. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like a small little thing. And then just the concept that like people live differently than that. I wasn't really aware of that. So I kind of, you know what I mean? It's kind of,
yeah,
because my family never traveled. We were just like lower middle class standard family, you know?
Yeah. No, that's crazy. And so I guess like you were incredibly early to like, I guess that like internet subculture of like, you know, shooting video, sharing it on the internet with your friends.
Yeah,
like,
dude. So when YouTube fucking came out, I happened to be in Miami that year, and I was making videos with all the best pro skaters. Like after the BAM thing, like everyone was hitting me up, and like surfers were hitting me up, and you name it, right? They all wanted to make videos with me. Right when YouTube came out, so like I made a video with this Brazilian jiu-jitsu fighter. He paid me like $5,000. It was awesome, and I went down to Miami and I made this video with him, and it got like 100,000 views on YouTube. And in their first couple of months, that's a big deal, because Vimeo was still king, and no one really cared about YouTube. Their player had shit quality. And it's just like the UX wasn't that good.
Yeah.
You know, like, so anyway, they gave me mad love and they sent me emails. They're like, yo, keep uploading. We'll keep giving you love. I'm like, hell yeah, cool, thanks. Like, it didn't really mean shit to me. But what I did right here was like pivotal, and which kind of brought me into all this, because I went and linked up with that fighter that I made that jiu-jitsu video with on YouTube. And he was getting ripped off selling. He was getting paid like $10,000 a year as a talent fee. And this dude was making like millions of dollars selling his instructional videos of this poor, nice Brazilian guy who's like this world champion. And so we ended up like taking that business, and I split it with him, and we made an online jiu-jitsu academy with digital videos. and it was the best. And like thousands of people were paying like $40 a month, and we were giving them like the best like one-to-one coaching content that they could get, and bringing in all the other jiu-jitsu fighters. And the UFC guys all came in. The business was awesome. You know, this is like right when video started to matter, right when people were getting too lazy to read websites because more videos were popping up. Like everyone just wanted video, you know. I sold that company to that fighter, and because he's just like the best, and I wanted to go to LA and make bigger movies and stuff like that, you know. The money was cool, but I still wanted to be creative, so I wanted to stop with all the marketing stuff and just kind of go back to making cool videos. So I moved to LA in 2014, and I sold the company, and then I bought a Red camera and a drone, and like that's like the two tools that like you need to go be like a music video superhero in LA in 2014. And I didn't get too much work. I kind of like fell flat on my face. I paid my rent up front for 6 months from selling my company. I was like, I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to keep trying, you know, something to work. And it kind of didn't after a while. And I was kind of getting bummed out. And then, like, right at the end of that 6 months, I was about to just kind of quit and just, like, go back to Philly and go skateboard or something. I got a call, and I did this music video. The DP had, like, gotten sick, so, like, I had to, like, go show up, like, right now. And I had my Red camera, and I had my drone, and that's exactly what they needed. And this music video got, like, 300 million views. It was insane. It just popped off. Like, the song was just so good. Like, everyone loved it. The music video was so good. They use it in movies. Like, it's like the intro to movies and shit now. It's, like, a serious song. So that went awesome. And then once you do that, like all you got to do is win once. Once you did that, it was like, you know, I went and got hired for an Iggy video, and it's like, you know, any Jay-Z, you name it, any artist, any DJ, any fucking rapper, I've like been on sets with them or worked with them. So I went and did that for a while, and that was fucking awesome. You know, like you're walking around LA just working with the coolest people in the planet. Instagram's just starting to happen, and everyone's like, whoa, how do you know all these people? You know, and just like flexing Instagram pictures and shit. You know, just like I'm the king, but like I don't own a house or nothing. I'm just like getting by fine. You know, it's like a good job. And then this is another really important part. My boy got a job at Lyft in 2015, and he hit me up to make Lyft bigger. He's like, yo, we got to compete with Uber. We need like millions of downloads to be able to raise this money, or else we're never going to be able to compete with Uber, blah, 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 blah. And like, this is the other side to like the Uber story that's on TV and all those shows, you know? So my boy at Lyft asked me to do it, and I was like, no, I'm not going to have my friends that I'm filming music videos with, I have strong relationships with, and all these now YouTubers that are getting ad revenue and calling me to do videos. I'm like, I'm not going to ask them to promote nothing. I'm like, no. And then I said no again. And then he kept calling, and I said no. And then I said no, and then I said no. And then finally I was like, dude, fine, fucking jeez, give me one of the Lyft codes, and I'll try it with this one like YouTuber. I did it with him, and he got like 6,000 downloads in like a fucking matter of hours. It was insane. And those like 40% of those people went and put their credit card in the Lyft app. So what that turned into was me like turning off making videos and shutting down all of my productions and all of my shoots and calling every motherfucker I knew in Hollywood. I mean, like, yo, I got bags of money for you if you go fucking post about Lyft and share about this car service. So after 4 months of cutting out ridiculous checks to all these celebrities, rock stars, Instagram people, singers, songwriters, athletes, anyone you could imagine, period. I brought Lyft a couple million customers with all that, 2.2 million customers in like 6 months. And it was crazy. It was insane. It was more money than I'd ever seen. It was like fucking like, whoa, what? I bought some Bitcoin miners, or I forget what token I was mining, like ETH miner, something off of ETH. And I was like, that was my first little taste of crypto, because my boy just told me to do it. He had all these. This is early, bro. This is like when Bitcoin was under $2,000, or like right around $2,000. Because I bought Bitcoin at 2,300 when I got these mining machines, and I just was like, oh, that's great. Like these checks just kept coming in from these mining machines, and then that's kind of stopped. But I don't know. It turned into all this. And I went and got hired by like a DeFi launchpad in 2000, I don't know, 2 years ago, and 2 or 3 years ago. And that went well. And I worked with those guys for a while, and they're great. And I recently, while I was there, I met Solana Steve, which was very important, because we had launched a token or two on Solana at my last company. And I was like, oh, that was cool. I just remembered like just kind of like hitting approve real quick on Phantom. I was like, oh, that's kind of fast. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I don't have to put any money in. They're like, put like a 10 cents in. I'm like, what are you talking about? So anyway, I kind of saw that happen, forgot about it for a minute. And then I saw Solana Steve, this dude in my apartment, walking around on his laptop, running around the hallways, like on his fucking laptop. If he's walking his dog, he's got his laptop. If he's by the pool, he's got his laptop. And I'm like, dude, this cat's weird. And he lived directly 4 feet across the hall from me. And I was like, bro, what's up? He's like, oh, just buying fucking Solana and stuff. I'm like, what? He's like, Solana NFTs. It's like NFTs on Solana. I'm like, oh, what's okay? Well, all right, cool. Why do you got a laptop? He's like, no, they don't have mobile yet. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Okay. And anyway, he sold me on it a little more, and I went and minted a Trash Panda. Well, later that day, he came over and a couple $100, and it was so much fun. It was so easy, and it was so fast, and so much less stressful than dealing with all the mutant apes and the way you connect wallets and just how manual things were on ETH, and just like it's just like Windows 98 compared to Apple. Like instantly, I was like, whoa! I just converted to Mac.
Facts.
And from there, Steve became our head of Solana at the Launchpad, and that same first 2 weeks, there was a Solana hacker house right down the street from my place. Like literally, like bro, 2 blocks, or else I would never have gone. And I was just a brat. I just didn't really know what the fuck it was. I just knew that I liked these NFTs and these pandas are dope. So I'm gonna go find out, go meet the panda owners. I'm like, I want to work with them. Steve was obsessed with these pandas. So I went over to the hacker house, and there was these 2 dudes talking on the stage, and I think there was like this little kid on the stage too. He like made an NFT. He was like 10 or something. It was sick. But anyway, I talked to those 2 guys, and that was Bartosz and Jordan from Solana. I didn't really know who they were or what their deal was, but they sounded smart, and I didn't understand any tech at this point, really, other than how to make a token and launch it and do all that stuff. But Steve's like, get to know those guys. He's like, they're like the best. I'm like, okay, sure, bro. I'm like, hey guys, what are you doing tomorrow? You want to come for a ride on my helicopter? They're like, what? You have a helicopter? I'm like, yeah, I just minted a panda. And I heard you guys were like something to do with that or whatever. And, you want to come for a cruise? I'm just going to go for a sunset ride. Welcome to LA, He's like, yeah, sure. Here's my number. I called him the next day, and I was like, yo, you guys ready? He's like, you really have a helicopter? I'm like, yeah, bro, I wasn't lying. So I took B&J on this fucking helicopter ride around LA and dangled our feet out of it and just had a fucking blast. And then I hit him up like a week later, thanked him for the week. And actually, I took him to, I got us reservations at like the private room at this very fancy restaurant in Los Angeles too, where like Bieber eats and shit. And then we went out with the whole hacker house for the closing party. It was awesome. But anyway, a couple weeks later, I hit up B&J and I was like, yo, can I help me build out Solana for my Launchpad, the company I was at? And they were like, yeah, devs are pretty expensive right now on Solana, but if you fly to Chicago, we can help you. Just bring your dev and we'll figure it out. Or just, you can use our recruiter and that'll probably be a couple $100,000. I was like, oh, I think I'll take option fucking A there. So I cruised out to Solana Labs in Chicago, one of their offices. And that exact time I had a scheduled phone call with ICE to hear about some NFT. And right when we started to talk about it, he's like, and we knew that OpenSea was about to announce Solana, which was a big deal for us because, none of us wanted to go fucking use it. We just wanted to say it because, when you talked about NFTs, if it wasn't on OpenSea, it wasn't real. So, at that time, that was the biggest news Solana could have ever had. Even though the NFTs were already kicking internally, there were no ETH people dare come near it. So as soon as that OpenSea announced, me and ICE were on the phone. Right when that happened, and we were like, dude, let's do a Spaces right now. So me, Steve, Solana Steve, and ICE, me and Steve started the Spaces, and ICE joined, actually. And we went for, 13 hours on there. And in that time, I met Legend, I met, Solana Sensei, I met Princess, I met, Chico, I met, all the people that I talked to every day, Six Pack Chad was around. I forget who, was around, Nikki Scans from, DAA, and, all these people, that I now talk to every single day came through, and we all followed each other. And I only had 200 followers on my Twitter, but after that day I had 2,000, and then I just started doing Spaces every day. And I kind of B&J headhunted me basically from that week moving forward, because me and Steve told him that we wanted to help with pandas a little, and within a month of our little test, we got them from 2 sold to 10 sold just from doing whatever we do. And so then we decided to work with these guys. So that's my story to Solana from Springfield, Pennsylvania.
Crazy,
That was
man.
wild. Holy shit, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking wild, bro.
Thanks.
So,
It takes a lot. Hope you didn't fall asleep.
no, no one's asleep, bro. Everyone's wide awake. Don't worry. So what do you want to tell us a little bit about the pandas and like what you're working on now?
Yeah. So when I started, I was just working with the pandas as a consultant. Like, I told them that merch sucks in Web3 and that no one knows what's up. No one makes any good shit. No one knows how to deliver good shit. They're like, we feel that way about the tech. I'm like, well, let's fucking do something about it. So like, he's like, all right, well, I'll give you enough rope to hang yourself with and see how you do for a month. Go make us a cool merch function. I'm like, okay, cool. So me and Steve came back about 4 or 5 days later with this visual plan, the dumpster map. And we came up with a cool way to, do a mint and make merch fun and just like not make it a Shopify site or not make it just like, hey, pay in Sol for my shitty t-shirt. Like, we spent, we airdropped the pandas, the trash pandas, depending on how many you held, little diamond hand mechanic, and gave them a SPL token that allowed them to mint a dumpster. If you have more pandas, you got more tokens, you get more dumpsters. And then instead of doing it on any of the traditional launch pads, we just obviously did it on our own site. And we used Strata, which was is a cool protocol. We did dynamic pricing because we didn't feel like dealing with people complaining about mint prices. Like Bubble Goose Mint had just happened, and everyone was fading them for no reason, and like everyone was just like Sol dropped. So mints went from 1 to 3 to 7 Sol, and people were just complaining about it. So like, you know what? We'll let you guys, the demand, determine the price. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, here's how many fucking dumpsters there are. Here's where you can buy them. You got 3 days. Figure it out. You can wait. You can go right now. And people ran to it, and it was great. It did fucking awesome. So anyway, you can burn your dumpster for a hoodie, and when you burn the dumpster for the hoodie that you get in real life, the hoodie is the same color as the dumpster skin, and also same color as panda skins. You had a choice to check a box and put the hoodie on your panda as well. This is where some people would maybe not have tried this, but we thought it was cool. So if you put the hoodie on your panda, it replaces the body trait and it goes on chain. So your panda, like my panda, jumped from rank 400 to rank 6 because I put like the craziest dumpster on the craziest panda. So like doing that on chain stuff, kind of like Frank was talking about in his Duppy's white paper or his Utes white paper, is kind of what we did with the dumpsters in June. Yeah, so that was really cool. And then they also, the hoodies are coming in like now, and they have a cupcake chip in them, and they're going to get their dumpsters back. And then the dumpster is going to be a place where the pandas can go and hang out and hang up their pandas and chill and, do a couple of other things. It'll be sick.
That sounds awesome, man. I have this kind of like idea around Web3, and everyone seems to be like very, focused on taking like the physical digital in the sense that like everyone wants to move assets on chain, do all that. But my theory is that like we're in a transitionary period right now. We're really in Web 2.5, and we need to take the kind of like digital physical, and I think you see this with Yuga Labs as well. They are kind of like building their other side metaverse and they're doing all that stuff, but they also lean heavily on like in real life experiences in terms of merch, the Ape Fest, like festivals and all kinds of like exclusives that are.
I just came back from a Ape water launch where one of their ape holders went and made a water company.
Right.
So they have these cans of water with apes on them. So that helps them a lot too. But so I was a consultant at Pandas. We passed our test. Our shit went well. And then I heard that these guys were starting to put together Raindrops protocol, which is 5 contracts for bringing your NFTs to life and bringing their traits on chain, whether that's for gaming, where like if like let's say you have a Solana monkey business, right? Like let's talk about yours. It would be actually like, so there's a player contract which can take your NFT and it becomes a player in a game. There's a match contract which sets up multiplayer matches. Like that's your language, Ice, right? Player matches an idle contract, so that way your hat, your whatever's your backpack, your spacesuit, whatever traits your NFT has are recognized as items on chain. And then there's a namespace contract, and there's one more. I'm a CMO. I'm not a tech guy, but these contracts are are really what people need to be able. If any NFT wants to make a game and actually have it be on chain or go in, the other part to Raindrops is Boots, which Project Boots, where you can take your NFT and just like I said, declare it as a player and put it in, let's say it's dressing room, and then people can mint individual traits. So like, let's say Ray-Ban wants to partner up with SMB and do Ray-Ban sunglasses. With Raindrops, you could technically go and on chain put that item onto your NFT and bring it on chain and affect the rarities and do all that, because we're learning that people like to play dress up with their NFTs. Grown men love it. It's like they're playing with Barbie dolls. Like a lot of people want to keep their PFP, but don't mind like changing it a little bit. So I think a lot of people in collections are gonna have a lot of fun with this. We're gonna do it with the pandas first, because like we realized halfway down, like gaming on chain isn't really fucking there yet. Like BR1's got it pretty good, if I have to say anything, but for the most part, we're just like a year or two out still. So we were like, wait a second, here's a great way to use Raindrops on chain right now with NFTs. So like you're gonna see this stuff really soon. So like the pandas are a tech company, and the pandas control the Raindrops protocol. So the pandas tell the Raindrops Foundation what to do with the Rain token and what to do with the protocol. So the pandas each have a stake in that, and that's kind of why pandas have been getting a lot of noise lately. But so what happened was they told me that they were going to do Raindrops, pandas, and this other company called Cupcake under this new thing called B&J Studios. And I was like, well, wait. First, I wanted the job at pandas. Then I'm like, wait, make me the CEO of Raindrops. And then I was for like a month. And then I was like, no, wait, guys. I want to be involved with everything. I'm like, you guys are the best. Because Cupcake just popped out. And now I'm like in love with Cupcake too. Basically, like, being the CMO of 3 companies at once. I'm like, dude, just like, can I just be the CMO of B&J Studios? I'm like, I've been with you guys for 6 months. I'm like, I fully know your stuff like the back of my hand. I'm absolutely obsessed with it. Cupcake has a protocol for mass adopting and onboarding, tens and thousands and millions of people ultimately, and ways to make their lives better every day using NFTs. It's the easiest thing in the world. Like you can go tap a sticker, tap a poster, tap a t-shirt, tap a bag, tap a greeting card, tap your pet's collar, anything in the world, tap a medical record, and it instantly is minted and claimed on your mobile device. All you need is a phone number. So your phone number creates a wallet immediately just with 2FA SMS, and then the NFT is immediately claimed and dropped into that wallet on Solana. So we've activated this in huge ways already. We're a month in as a company, and we got about 30,000 of the 120,000 attendees at Lollapalooza went and used this to tap. They tapped the sticker. We placed them everywhere, and they were able to go claim based on we ran a candy machine on it. So the little stickers had a candy machine on them, and based on which NFT they got of 5 from the candy machine, they were able to get a different gift. They got like a clear Solana festival bag to make their festival experience better. They got a little fan to plug into their iPhone with a little woof, spins in your face and keeps you cool. And then some of the lucky ones got like VIP pass upgrades. So you can imagine as like a user, hey, it's summertime, it's hot, I'm walking by, I'm going to the EDM stage. Oh, tap this thing. Maybe you'll upgrade your pass. Maybe you'll get this dope bag. Like, fuck yeah, I'll tap that thing. Like, not even knowing that like they're creating a wallet that they own and all this. It's pretty cool. So Cupcake, you could imagine, is just gonna continue to go and continue to grow. So like after the Lollapalooza thing, Rove and Tommy Hilfiger hired us to go and do the fashion show. That was just about a week ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 10 days ago, I was standing with Tommy Hilfiger on the red carpet, on camera, minting a Solana NFT.
It's fucking wild.
Literally 10 days ago.
It's crazy because people, get lost in the sauce on this tech stuff. They debate so much on like layer 1 and layer 2 tech and cryptography and data propagation that they get completely like down the rabbit hole on that stuff, and they forget to actually like build stuff that people are actually going to like use. Like,
yeah, it's really simple, right? Like my grandfather, I made him a birthday card, and I put a Cupcake sticker on it, and I hand drew a little Mars Explorer. My grandpa was on the team that designed the Mars Explorer for Boeing. That little RC car that's on Mars with the big solar panels on it. So I drew one of those. It's horrible, but I drew one of those, took a picture of it on my cell phone, minted it as an NFT, put it on the sticker, drew the card, and said, "Tap here, my fucking 90-year-old grandfather." was able to claim and mint this NFT. He's like, oh, cool. Do I have it? He's like, it's mine. I'm like, yep. He's like, is it mine forever? I said, Grandpa, it's yours forever.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh my God,
man.
bro. There's a crane across the street lowering porta potties. It's like right up near my window. It's so sketchy. Sorry. Ugh.
No, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, it's genius because think about like the normal flow for minting an NFT, right? You have to like create a Coinbase or FTX account, KYC, like take a photo of your driver's license, wait for that to get approved, link your bank account, like, you know, buy some crypto, probably wait for like a few days to withdraw it, and then.
But even before you buy the crypto, I think it takes like 3 days with Coinbase to even like, you got to like verify your bank account first, which that's at this point you've lost any gen, whatever gen they're on now, kids that are like TikTokers and Instagrammers and even crypto Twitter people are like, do you know how long I don't even think I verified my Coinbase ever. Fuck that shit. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
and then you have to create a non-custodial wallet like Phantom or MetaMask, right? You can
and write down that code, legend, and hide it under your bed.
And then you lose your seed phrase and forget your password, and you've already like lost your account. But like, imagine, I mean, so many steps, and then you finally get the non-custodial wallet funded, and then you go like mint something. It's like, bro, it's been like a week. Like the mint is sold out. You know, you're too late.
That's exactly what Cupcake's there to end. You know what I mean? It's like, I want retail people enjoying everyday things. I mean, like, there's so many spots now that I'm using these Cupcake chips and seeing them in place. I'm looking like, where else have people been using this? I'm like, bro, every Coachella bracelet I've ever been to, every festival in the last 10 years. I'm like, even when I order weed from the weed store down the street, it's like, you know, it comes with a little NFC chip. It tells you the license number and stuff. I'm like, bro, think about how secure and adaptable this is going to be compared to a fucking hard drive on a PC in some dusty fucking dental office where all your records are. Like no fire is going to destroy the stuff stored on chain. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And think about like the potential, you know, you used to get toys in the cereal box. Now you get a little Cupcake code. You scan it, and, you know, kids, they want these digital assets anyways, right? I mean, I heard from my cousin, he's like, you know, whatever, 14, 15. He asked for a Fortnite skin for his birthday. That was like a come to God moment for me. People are spending their time and their attention like in virtual environments. They're going to demand virtual assets as well.
Yeah, and it's not going to happen in some goofy metaverse that doesn't exist yet. Fortnite's got it covered. That's great. It's a playable game. It's like so crispy. The graphics are fire. You can play it anywhere. You can play it on your mobile devices, on your TV. We're not there yet, but we do got our NFTs, and you can show them off on mobile devices. You can show them off on Apple Watches. You can show them off on screens. You can show them off primarily on Twitter. And people do like, yo, if I could get some if I could do the equivalent of Gucci flip-flops with socks on my Space Pirate, whatever that looks like, I'm down. You know what I'm saying? And then like, with Solana, you can go a step further and like just send the people some real slides with it too. So like, we're gonna do this store that we developed, and it's gonna be like a whole marketplace, and everyone's gonna be able to go there and buy items and mint items and have royalties on items for their NFTs and adjust them on chain on the spot, all using Raindrops. And like, we're gonna invite very special collections to do it in the beginning, but eventually we'll open that up. So yeah, I haven't really announced that anywhere yet, but you know, Pitt talks about it a few times, and if you read Raindrops Twitter, you can see in professional terms everything I just described for Project Boots and the Raindrops contracts. But yeah, dude, we're doing cool tech shit. So B&J Studios is the parent company, and I got to a point where I was like, hey, I want to be involved with everything you guys build. I really believe in these guys. They're fucking awesome. Pitt's a smartass. Bartosz is a sweetheart. They're both geniuses. And Cupcake, Raindrops, Trash Pandas, and you know, we'll spin out 3 to 5 protocol level projects a year, businesses full on. And I'm the interim CMO for all 3 right now, and I'm hiring to replace myself for all of them, you know, except for Pandas. I'll always be there. But yeah, you know, so that's kind of how it's going. We build a dream product immediately, like no white paper, no fucking roadmap. Like, we build products and ship them. That is my fucking job, and that is how I'm going to have 1 billion people using cryptography and running programs on Solana and having better days. So it all came together under this dream job, and now I just like wake up happy as fuck and get to talk to people like you guys and just like still buy NFTs and still like learn, and like it's all good. You know what I mean? It's like the best.
Yeah.
I get to travel. I'm gonna go, have a talk at Lisbon with our guys, and it's only getting better and bigger. And dude, Tommy Hilfiger, like Lollapalooza. I can't even tell you. I had 4 phone calls in the last 2 days. If I drop that shit, it's insane. Fortune 500 companies, bro, lining up at our doorstep to come integrate Cupcake into their lives, into their customers' hands, into their businesses, into the experiences. And none of it's like, and honestly, both of you, the market, the Web 2 market's maturing. The conversations are going from, let's do an NFT, to, we don't want to do an NFT for no reason. It has to have a purpose. Like, they're learning the concept of, they're light years behind, but they're learning the concept of utility and having a purpose, not utility for utility's sake or NFTs for NFT's sake, but like, hey, how can, like, what do we have coming up? Like, okay, we have Art Basel, we have the Cannes Film Festival. All right, how can we integrate into these things and take care of our guests and give them a good experience, like Tommy Hilfiger did for his guests in New York? It's about that, and it's like the conversations with the people, like in traditional Web 2 business, it's like us versus them, period. Like you don't help your competition. Like, you don't want everyone to grow. You don't pass numbers. In Web 3, it's like, yo, link me with this dude on Telegram. I'm like, yo, go make $1 million, bink. Like, link up. Like, we connect everybody. We all want everyone to win, because if Ape Water on Ethereum, Bored Ape Yacht Club IP is used, I have a receipt that says Fred Siegel and Ape Water on it. That's so big for NFTs. Like, fuck yeah. Like, I don't care what, like about the chain stuff. Like, I just use Solana because I like it. But like, I want everyone to win. Like going to Fred Siegel and scanning and standing at the cash register and buying something for fucking like that has Bored Apes on it. That's sick, dude. Like,
yeah,
you never would have imagined that happening when they minted those monkeys like a year ago.
For sure. It's kind of like shows the power of NFTs as kind of like a lightning rod, where you can, build digital brands. You can like build a digital community around it at a time when everyone is spending all their time online. So it's like, people are like, why are you spending so much time on Twitter? I'm like, man, this is where the ball is going. Well, you can't be looking at, traditional avenues. Everything's getting disrupted. Even the most established web 2 companies like YouTube, that's owned by Alphabet. But even YouTube is like, their lunch is getting eaten by TikTok. Like, the world changes is what I'm trying to say. Like, even the most established players are getting their business disrupted. So I think,
dude,
it's only
look
natural.
at fucking OpenSea.
Yeah,
Dude,
OpenSea's gone bad.
I think in any case, right, like any sector, it's always adapt or die, especially in tech. It may happen a lot slower in other industries, but like in tech, it happens like every 10, 20 years.
Oh, there's
even
like
faster.
9 Cupcake copies on Solana right now, and I'm all for it. You know what I mean? Like, like, it's gonna happen, and it's just, you got to stay sharp, and that's why I went with builders and I went with engineers. Bartosz at B&J Studios is from Citadel, and so is Jordan as well. And then they both worked at Solana Labs and built the protocols that we use every day, like Metaplex with their bare hands. They typed that shit. The candy machine was invented to save the DAA mint. They helped Frank on the DGods, Dead Gods thing. They have honorary DGods. Like, these guys are legends, and they're just like the quiet musketeers. Pitt's been getting a little loud on Twitter, but other than that, yeah, these guys are really spectacular. So I chose builders for that reason, because I need to be able to keep up, and like, I need my company that I'm working with and representing to be able to keep up with my ass, because I got a million ideas, and Solana Steve's a creative motherfucker. So we just keep coming up with dope shit, and we need them to be able to support it and be able to give the people what they want, because every single phone call for Cupcake is different, like every phone call is different. Like every client like has something different. It's a different way. Like it's a white glove service. Yeah, you can go on our website and order some stickers, and we'll send you a link to the back end of our app, and you can go, run that shit if you're somewhat tech savvy, and it's not that difficult actually. But like these big activations, like it's customized and it's awesome. It's really cool using every single piece of Solana's tech while we're out there.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I guess like hearing this crazy story, you've literally gone from Web 1 to Web 3. Like, where do you feel? I guess like a lot of people, in my conversations and me and Ice talking to people, a lot of people are pretty much like a little bit disillusioned at this point with the state of NFTs, in the sense that like it felt a little bit like a PFP, like ICO craze in a lot of ways. You know, you had teams that were just anons, like posting up, taking a bunch of money, and then just like dipping. So where do you feel like the space needs to go in order to like really hit those, like, you know, the 100 million user mark? Because I'm not sure like many people realize this, but the lifetime users of like the most popular dApp on Ethereum is only like 3 or 4 million people, which when you compare that to like TikTok, over 1 billion, YouTube is 1.6 billion, Google is like 2 or 3 billion. It's a drop in the ocean. So how do we get to those like 100 million plus users, Eddie?
I think literally by having people like us around, by having people like me and Jay, like taking this language of wanting to communicate value to big brands, customers, and being able to take that language and you know, create the items with, you know, Rust and React or whatever full stack operation you're using that day to make it work. And just like taking ideas to a reality, to the point where the end user, the customer doesn't even know that they're on chain. Like Steppen did the best job ever. And I've told this story to you too before, but I'll say it here. Like when I was walking down the beach and this like lady and I were like both on Steppen, and we got to the end of the beach path, and I was like gearing up my shoe, you know, just like making sure it was fixed for the walk back. She was like, "Oh, you on Steppen walk?" I'm like, "Yep." I was like, "Is it Solana the shit?" She's like, "What's a Solano?" I'm like, this lady like just fiat on ramp, like transferred tokens, made like 3 wallets, like fucking like swap tokens, moved it from a spending wallet to a different wallet, and then spent it, and then can earn the tokens, spent the tokens, and converted it back to cash, and had no fucking clue she was on blockchain. Like that's the way it's gonna work.
Wow.
That's how you're gonna get adapted. Like that's how you like at Lollapalooza, not saying here's a free NFT, which we didn't do, by just instead saying tap here for your free map. And they fucking tap it, and now they have a map on their phone for the festival, and they also have a, you know, a little memory to hold on forever. Like things like that. Like every time you get a burger, being like, yo, scan this if you want another burger. You know what I mean? Like whatever that is. Like you can communicate with these NFTs. And like for example, the roses company. I'm staring at these roses, the roses that last forever, that come in the pretty hat boxes. My friend owns the company. It's called Venus at Fleur. It's huge. Like putting something on those that, like, you know, you could put you can have an NFT rose with like a love note on it, and you can just have a love note that like lasts forever. Like you can put like, you just need a couple of really smart top tier marketers, and like real marketers, not people that sell out NFT projects, like real fucking marketers from the Web 2 world and from, you know, the traditional Fortune 500 world, and like to come over here and have enough money to play with to go and activate some of this shit. So thank God we just raised some money to get 2 years of runway for B&J Studios, and we had income in week 1. You know, it's like we're just gonna keep deploying and keep building the coolest stuff to make everyone's days better. You know what I mean? Like it's, I'm looking at NFC chips right now, and right now we can offer clients wearable bracelets, business cards, weatherproof tags sewn into merchandise, so you can wash them, stickers that stick on metal, stickers that stick on cement, greetings cards, business cards, posters, like every single thing you could ever just make, you can tap it. It can be an NFT. So
it's so crazy, because think about like the lifetime impressions that some of these will get. I mean, yeah, like imagine at an airport or like wherever, like imagine how many NFTs can be minted from like one tag. It's crazy.
Infinity, bro. Like this shit should be on the Mona Lisa. And until it is, I'm not fucking stopping. Like everyone should have a Mona Lisa. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
facts.
Like get in there. You know what I mean? Like I saw FIFA did a NFT today. Like that's the shit. Like put us in your fucking stadiums. Like let's go for World Cup. Like let's figure some shit out. You know what I mean? Like that's the way to do it. And there's the conversations that we're having every day. It's not just a pipe dream. It's so fucking crazy. And you know, our round was led by Big Brain, who's freaking a legend. All stemming from a conversation from me and him. But yeah, it went really well, bro. I'm really honored to be a part of this team. We have an amazing general counsel attorney from Cromwell, and he's like so much fun, and he has a Bored Ape, and he's just like young and cool, but he's like the sharpest motherfucker in the planet. You know what I mean? Like our head of product is a 19-year-old from Yale, like, or 20-year-old from Yale, Ryan, and he's like fucking awesome. He was from Solana too. Our COO's from Amazon and Goldman, who's like a growth master. Solana Steve's our creative director, and I'm the CMO. So we're fucking stacked. You know what I mean? Plus we have 9 devs who's all have really funny names. Like one's Cold. You know what I mean? They all got like crypto Twitter names, basically. It's so much fun.
I love that, man. It's like Reservoir Dogs. Like one guy's pink, the other guy's yellow, brown. It's awesome, man. I think like the whole concept of just shipping products that people that have mass adoption potential is the biggest differentiator between Solana and a lot of these other chains. I mean, if you read like the announcements from the Ethereum Foundation, I mean, not to shit on ETH, but like it genuinely reads like a peer-reviewed academic article. And I think only 1% of crypto like users can actually understand that. And crypto users are already a super small percentage of the population. So it's really like tech for tech people, which is interesting. Like they definitely innovated, you know, push the whole industry forward with smart contracts. I don't think anybody's disputing that, but it comes to a point where you actually have to ship products that people use, and that, you know, Joe Smith on the street with his Amazon or like, sorry, Samsung S7, when he's drunk on a Saturday, can just like pull out his phone and do something on chain. We're just not there yet.
Yeah, and like with ETH, like yeah, sure, they pumped, like they made a ton of tokens, and DeFi was a blast, bro. Like, come on, I worked at a launch pad, like I love that shit. But it's just like that's all they really did, and like normal people are not going to go through the MetaMask Coinbase process, and to do all those transactions with something like Cupcake on ETH, it's just going to be expensive. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, Cupcake is cross chain. We just started on Solana, we just built out the EVM, and we'll ship those contracts like next week, but we may have to use Polygon or like whatever the devs do. They'll make it work on our side, but other people can't. And you can't go play dress up with your NFTs. It's going to cost too much. And you just can't do all this shit, man. It's too difficult and expensive. And it's just too Windows 95. And I want the new Mac and I want the new iPhone. And that's Solana to me. Like, bro, I walked into a fucking mall in New York and I walked into a store white lit like the Apple store, and it said Solana on the front. And then I walked in and I got Solana bowling shoes, DAA hoodie. Like I saw NFTs on the wall. They greeted my friend, who's, by the way, was very important to me. This kid he's not a kid, he's older than me, but he's been nominated for 6 Oscars for writing these amazing movies. And he has TV shows and stand-up comedies on Netflix. Like, this dude's the fucking man. He's been on Jimmy Fallon like 5 times. And he walks in and this dude comes up to him and he's like, shows him how to make a wallet. And he goes through the whole thing. And he showed him, they gave him $10 in USDC. It was like fucking awesome. And he left with like, yo, Solana's the shit, man. And like, he got a Solana notebook and Solana socks. And, since then he's been on Twitter diving in and just learning about DeGods, and just like, he's really fascinated by them. And like just learning about how everyone's moving around in the spaces. And he's like, bro, this is awesome. He's like, you can give someone a full Solana experience if they want to change their fucking world. Like, you can go like take them to a Solana Spaces store, take them. God, don't even get me started on Hacker House. Just take them to a Hacker House. Like,
yeah. It's just a light bulb moment, like, yeah. I know Apple wouldn't have been able to like sell as many phones as they did without the Apple Store. I mean, that was just like a magical experience. And I think it to the extent we're able to like catch lightning in a bottle like that, make it fun, make blockchain fun for normies, that's what it's really going to take to get to those big numbers of user adoption. And I think there's only a very small handful of chains today that are actually like setting out to kind of take that approach. Most people are still making tech for tech people.
Yeah, and that's one way of doing things. And like, bro, even for us, right? Like, Cupcake is gonna make your favorite projects so much fucking better. Like, wait until you guys see like what's going down. But that's just one little thing. And they got that, and they know what to do with it. And it's easy for them to use it. I'm worried about the 999% of the other people. The other whatever number it is of other people that don't know about it, and like are just like, fuck crypto. Like, do you know how easy these conversations are to have with people like CAA now that OK Bears has a relationship with IMG, and now that Bored Ape people have water, and now that Solana has a store, and now that Magic Eden has been destroying OpenSea for like 8 months in a row, like, or whatever it is. It's like I have ammo now, and I'm gonna go goddamn use it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna go just use it every day and just get more business and spread this shit as much as possible. I love my job.
Absolutely. Ice, what are your thoughts, man? What a crazy story. And honestly, like, I think this is pretty much the bleeding edge of like crypto adoption. I mean, I've always said it, NFTs are like, when the dust settles on NFTs, it's going to be so much bigger than just these cartoons and JPEGs. It's going to be like one of the biggest vehicles for mass onboarding I think the space has ever seen.
Yeah,
I agree. Everybody got to put some respect on Eddie's name, bro. Holy shit, bro. This guy's an absolute legend. My goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like you know what I'm gonna do for the rest of my day? Like it naturally includes Solana. Like there's no way around it, right? Like after this, I'm gonna go meet up with that dude that I just told you guys about, who's on Jimmy Fallon and has all the Oscars and shit. And his name's Keith. He's fucking awesome. Keith Lucas, Lucas Brothers. We're gonna go talk about building his business on Solana, like straight up. Like we're gonna map out like doing some gangster shit in the entertainment world, and we're gonna talk about doing it with B&J Studios. It's gonna be a ball. And then like that dude Nick Antonian, who I made that funny Magic Eden video with, who was like window shopping NFTs, and he don't know nothing about NFTs. I'm gonna go link up with him, and he wants to figure out how to get his Ute, because his Ute is in my wallet because he didn't know how to mint it, so I minted his Ute for him, and I want to go teach him about that. It's just like, bro, it's all I want to do, and then I want to come back home and check in with you motherfuckers on Twitter and like see what all my boys are up to, like. It's so crazy. Like I find myself out Friday nights. Like I wonder what everyone else is doing. Should I go home and go on Twitter? It's like we really need to get social out in this bitch.
But honestly, I think you hit the nail on the head, Eddie. Some chains are blockchains and others are just a lifestyle.
Yeah. Literally. Like this guy called me. He's like, bro, I really get it. He's like, I get why I wouldn't want to go and build my project on Ethereum. I mean, he had to do 2 weeks of research. This is a freaking dude who's a scholar, and he's actually a philosopher. So like he's like looking at this from a different perspective. He's like, these guys are fucking great. They all back each other up. They all believe in each other. He's like, everyone lifts each other up. He's like, it's crazy. He's like, they're all raising money together, like crazy. Hold on, I gotta hit my bong.
I gotta hit my bong, he says. Oh my god.
It heats up. I have a time window.
Eddie, I fucking love you, bro.
Sorry about that.
Oh my god. Just
Weed's important too, man. You know, work-life balance.
It's crazy.
But yeah, it's really exciting, man. I'm like super stoked to work with all the best people. Like, I know everyone from that owns every project in Solana, and I love them all for different reasons. Like Nam from Monkey DAO is like the fucking best. Like Nikki and CEO from like DAA are like fucking awesome. Like, you know, that dumbass Donkeys dude's cool as shit. Like, you know,
dude, we haven't talked about the donkeys all episode. I realized.
Yeah, what's up with them things, bro? All I did was like I got my ICE notifications on because your tweets are funny, and you're my boy. So I just like have you and like Legend, like a few other people got noties on, and then like I seen you tweet a link. I'm like, yo, are you hacked? And then I looked at it, and I'm like, this is dope. And then like I just quickly minted as many as I possibly could. I was stoked, and like I thought it had a 0% chance of staying. No offense, I fucking love you, but like of staying above like I don't know 1 soul. It's just like all the free mints are happening, and like I don't know, people hate on you sometimes and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I just didn't know like what the fuck would happen, but I watched that shit go to like 5 soul, and I was tripping out. I was like, dude, what? And then
yeah, I'm really happy with how it launched. I mean, I've been working on the creative side of this for a long time. And to finally put it out feels really, really good. And obviously, like now I'm focused on community building, and that's my main focus right now. That's where I'm putting all my energy in.
Who would have thought you would do it as a free mint? Like when you first told me you were drawing up something like 5 months ago, like you know, it's times change, meta's changed. Like it went from like the brand shit to like the degen mints for a soul during the bear market to like now everyone wants to dress up their NFTs and free mints with ABC. It just changes. You have to go with the flow.
Yeah, no, shit's always adapting in NFT. I mean, people now are like arguing about royalties every other day, and like
so stupid.
You know, bricking
I
NFTs.
think that conversation is pure bullshit.
Yeah, what are your takes on it?
I don't think there's anything to argue about. Like, I just think it's so ridiculous.
I think the thing is, if people want to bypass royalties, then you have to find an OTC buyer, right? You can do that with anything.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that you have to find the buyer is what makes you able to bypass the royalties itself, right? Or if you want to donate the royalties to the team itself, right? Or the community or whoever's running. But yeah, so I don't know. I think times are always changing, and you have to always adapt. But I do think, you know, creator royalties should always stay, right? Because even in like fine art, right? There's a lot of fine art on Ethereum, Solana as well, right? We're getting there.
Yeah, getting there.
But especially on Ethereum, some of these pieces sell for like hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars, right? And the creators always get that % royalty, especially even through like auctions and all that other stuff. So that's their main source of income. So you're kind of betting on the artist himself, right? To keep creating amazing pieces and be relevant in the space, in my opinion. So those royalties are necessary.
I mean, and then Solana NFTs separate from art. Like, if it's not just about the art, like it's now there's teams and crazy expectations and things to be delivered upon. Like, how are you going to pay? Like how are you going to demand merch, demand daily spaces, demand fucking in-person parties, demand, and then demand that you don't pay royalties? It's like, I don't know about you, but like, other than weed, I haven't seen money grow on trees. Like I've been around for 33 years, and I have not seen money grow on trees other than the pot plants that I've been around. It's like, I don't get what. How are you supposed, like, what? So from mint, you're supposed to what? Like, every single 20-year-old that jumps in and supposed to go make a sustainable business in 2 months of
right. Then they're like, dude, like,
you're
oh,
crazy. Most of these people are minting and paying their fucking debt, bro. Like,
dude, yeah, I agree. I agree. I think other people, they're being a little. I mean, the consumers being a little too greedy in this situation. I think now they're trying to force projects to have sustainable revenue streams, which is always a plus. Like, you love to see that, but like,
or just don't buy the fucking project.
Yeah, just don't buy it. Like.
Yeah. I think people got a little greedy on the project side too, though, because the average like creator royalties on ETH are like 5%. On Solana, they were like 10 or 12% for a while there.
That's because we're poor, bro.
That's a great point.
But honestly, I mean, we're poor, but also the balance like kind of swung in the other direction a little hard. It was kind of like a reaction to it. So I think I'm confident we'll find like the long-term equilibrium. Ultimately, like Eddie said, nothing is free, and the best teams definitely earn their royalties. No doubt. I mean, there's a lot of rugs that don't deserve them, but
I think Pandas royalties are 420. It's like not greedy. We have a couple of team members, you know what I mean? And like,
I think
it's not 10%. It's not fucking, not 15%. It's not 1%. It's just enough. It's fucking low. I want more, but honestly, it's a great number, and 420 is just like good for me. So,
Absolutely. Man,
but then what else, guys? Do you guys have any questions for me? I talked for like an hour. Do you guys have any questions about Cupcake or Raindrops or B&J Studios or just me or like anything? Like, did I miss anything?
No, I think you hit it all, Eddie. I mean, I honestly am just like blown away. There's very few people that have like I said, have lived like the Web 1 days to Web 2 now into Web 3.
Dude, I skipped all my Hollywood stories too, with like Dan Bilzerian and Post Malone and like all that shit. Like, bro, it goes on and on and on.
I guess, man, I'm just blown away. But Ice, I guess now is a good time to give people the news.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna formally add Eddie as one of our new co-hosts on the Good Price Show.
Yo, burr, burr, burr.
From here on out, I mean, it's gonna be the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I think it's a really good idea. I was giving these guys so much shit because I've been wanting to do this podcast since they asked me like 4 months ago. And Legends doing his big things, Ice doing his big things, I'm doing mine. So God forbid someone can't make a week. There's at least 2 of them. So I think I'll make a good third Musketeer. And I don't know. I just feel like it's just a good thing. The good guys got to stick together. You know what I mean? And
absolutely.
I think we should go back and do more spaces too. But I mean, I'm happy with the podcast for now. Just one promise, one podcast a week, guys. Is that it?
Yes, sir. I mean, we got to stay committed, dude. I mean, we've been slacking hard. I mean, it's really not that hard to put out a 1 hour episode once a week.
I'm gonna bring the.
We always have this conversation, but it's also hard to coordinate.
The best guests in the fucking world, like ever. And I already got the guy who can edit and chop up the podcast content and make it in the clips for Twitter and all that stuff. Like, bro, I'm bringing the heat. Watch.
It's time to level it up, guys, and that's exactly what Eddie's gonna do. This was an amazing episode, and we're super glad to have you on as co-host, man. I think this is a start of a new era for the Good Price Show. Maybe Price will actually be good one day, huh?
Yo, Price will be good, my guy.
Please, we really need Price good, dude. It's been a long, long time.
It'll be good. But hey, guys, it's at 59 minutes and 20 seconds. Why don't you guys end this right at the fucking hour? Are we good?
Let's do it.
I love you guys. Thank you so much.
Love you too, Eddie.
My co-host. You.
Yes, sir. See you next week, guys.
Cheers, boys. Bye, pandas and bye, donkeys.
Thank
Bye.
you so much for listening. Drop a like.